Welcome, replay viewers. This is Tim David, and this is the final installment of the 5-figure corporate speaking gigs from Scratch Masterclass. Now, this has been quite a journey. Last week, we covered a lot of ground. Today, I want to make a major announcement, and I also want to cover the 5 keys to high fees, the 5 keys to staying consistently booked in the corporate speaking market. Now, very, very quickly, the announcement is time sensitive. 23 hours from now, I will be opening the doors on something very exciting, but that 1 hour of the first hour of the opening of this will have some extra special goodies and bonuses and discounts and all kinds of stuff, because yes, this masterclass has been free for sure, and it's hopefully been valuable for you. I know I've gotten a lot of great feedback and great comments and great emails, and I appreciate that. But I also want to take this further and take this deeper for those of you who understand the value of bookability. I have something very exciting and very special. Again, opening tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and that first hour will be very, very important. So just keep an eye on your email, if nothing else from this video, but we're going to dive in and spend some time talking about these corporate speaking gigs. Now, the very first thing I want to address, one of the most common questions that I got, and by the way, stay tuned too, because I do want to take your questions live. This is being broadcast live. Share on Facebook, share on YouTube, tell your friends, send an email to your speaker, aspiring speaker friends, let them know they have a chance to get their questions answered. But this question that I got had to do with, Tim, I want high 5-figure fees to speak. That sounds great. I want to travel the country and the world. You know, they saw me. I've been to 48 states and a bunch of countries around the world. It's been a blast. I want to do what you're doing. However, my topic is not a corporate topic. And the answer to this is very simple. If you can help people, then you can help corporations. Your only job will be to repackage that content so the corporations understand how you helping their employees, helping their people be better, faster, smarter, whatever, is going to help their bottom line in their company. If you can draw that straight line, and this is a packaging problem, it is not a topic problem, right? So it is a positioning of that topic. It is a describing of your speech in a way that connects the dots. Hey, I'm going to teach about weight loss. Well, what does that have to do with my company, right? You have to be able to draw that line. And you might be able to say, well, hey, I really am passionate about weight loss. I understand corporations are not booking weight loss because I understand that the weight loss marketplace is flooded. How can I tweak my message in such a way where it is about high energy performers, where it is about whatever benefit that you can draw that'll be relevant to the corporate audience. So relevance definitely a big piece of the puzzle. So today I have a bit of a presentation prepared for you. It is not a slide presentation, but rather a, what do you want to call it? I want to call it a prepared presentation. How's that? We'll call it a prepared presentation. Now we're going to start with the hard truth. The hard truth. We want these gigs, but other speakers are getting these gigs. Other speakers are getting these high fee gigs that we want. And here's another, this is a really important piece about the corporate market, right? You have an idea, you want to help people. I want you to, if you don't think your topic is corporate, if you don't think you can speak to business audiences, I want you to think about it this way. As long as you want to speak to adult audiences, right? If you want to speak to youth, this is not the space. If you want to speak to young people, high 5-figure fees are few and far between, not my area of expertise. So if you want to speak exclusively to young audiences, go over and check out the Next Stage Speaking Summit at nextstagesummit.com. Go to Education Market Day and check out those experts. But as far as us, we want these high 5-fee corporate gigs. And I want you to view corporations as your message distributors. right? If you have a message for grown-ups, if you have a message, where do they go? They don't go to school, they go to work. So if you can view these corporate audiences, business audiences, associations, government groups, all those adult business audiences, that's what I mean when I say corporations. So, it's the business audiences that we are targeting here today. And if you have a message that can help people, then you can help business audiences. View the corporations as the distributors of your message. They will partner with you, give you an audience, and then you can speak your truth to them. Now, here's the truth, another hard truth that I'm going to speak to you right now. Speakers who are worse than you are getting your gigs. The gigs that you want, if it's more gigs, if it's your first gig, right? These high fee gigs are being booked right now. Today, I got one next week myself. And they're being booked by speakers who aren't as good as you, aren't as professional as you, aren't as experienced as you, aren't as talented as you. They're just worse speakers on the stage. Speakers who are worse than you are absolutely getting these gigs. Speakers who are better than you are also absolutely getting these gigs. And this is the first sort of major takeaway from the the masterclass. I almost said the Next Stage Speaking Summit. The first major takeaway is this idea that it's the best speaker who gets the gig. It's the best marketer who gets the gig. Listen, if you want to stay consistently booked and get these gigs at high five-figure fees to business audiences, we have to stop focusing so much on the almighty better, right? Once again, better speech, better website, better marketing, better systems, better prospecting, better sales, better social media, better books, better products, better speaking skills from the stage. None of that is going to be the absolute difference maker. Yes, it's important. Yes, there's nothing wrong with improving yourself. And here's another sort of pushback that I got from people. They say, well, you don't think that a great speech is your best marketing piece and that's a key to bookability? Well, it's only a piece of the puzzle. And like I said today, I'm going to share with you those 5 keys, not the 4 Ds of bookability, but the 5 keys to high fees. And they're slightly different than you might be expecting. So here's the deal. Better is important, but better in any of its forms is not the only way to get gigs. It's not the only way to get gigs. And I know this because there are people watching this right now. And let me know if this is you. You've worked your butt off to become a great speaker. You've worked your butt off in prospecting and marketing and responding to call for speakers and sending out proposals. You've worked your butt off in sales in all of these areas and becoming better. And you've worked your butt off and you still have no gigs. And now you have no butt, right? If that's you, if you feel like, I am better and I'm still not getting these gigs. I've paid my dues. I've put in the time and still not getting these gigs. Just type it in the comments. Let me know you're out there. Let me know you're watching and let everybody else know who is watching that they are not alone, right? So I'm going to switch over to the comments tab. I'd love to hear from you, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube or watching the replay. Stick a comment in the comments box. Let us know if getting gigs is frustrating for you, even though you feel like you are. In fact, here's what happens when you chase better. Here's what happens. When you chase better, you become the best kept secret. That is the best kept secret. You do a great job. You have a great offering. You have a great speaking style, but nobody books you. Nobody hears about you. You remain the best kept secret in your industry. So let me know if getting these gigs has been frustrating to you. I'm going to grab a sip of my coffee, my liquid energy, not liquid courage. That's a different beverage. And hey, we'll check back in with you. How's that? We'll check back in with you. And by the way, also, if you are on Facebook, the live viewer comments on Facebook will show up as Facebook user unless you, oops, I clicked the wrong one. This one is the one I wanted to click. Facebook users, visit StreamYard.com/Facebook, and we can see your beautiful faces as well as your names, and not just Facebook user. All right. Okay. Housekeeping is out of the way. Let's get back to our presentation here. Once again, when you only focus on becoming better, you end up being the best kept secret. Now, deep down, you know this. You know that the buyer's perception is their reality. You know that the best speaker doesn't always get booked. So here's your challenge now. How can you be perceived as the obvious option? How can you rise to the top of the booking pile? How can you be seen as a peer instead of as a pest? That's a big difference. And the answer we discovered in our masterclass is to boost your bookability, to become bookable. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, I asked hundreds of meeting professionals, what does it mean? What are you looking for? And I listened to what they told me, and I listened to what they didn't tell me, but what they really meant. I talked to, I think it was 8 actually different meeting professionals during the Next Stage Speaking Summit, hour-long interviews, and they told us what they are looking for. They want trustworthy, they want relevant, they want unique within reason, and they want engaging in a new style, not Toastmasters, not Dale Carnegie, a public speaking course, not your corporate trainer sort of style session. They want a new style of engagement. All right. I did see a comment come through. Hey, it's Chad. Have a great week. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate you popping in. Let's go back and look at those 4 again. Trustworthy, relevant, unique within reason, and engaging in the new style. So listen, a lot of people think, it's just a numbers game. The speaking business is just a numbers game. Reach out to enough people, you'll book enough gigs. Well, if you are not bookable first, right? You become bookable before you do any outreach. You do not put the cart before the horse, because when you put the cart before the horse, yeah, it's still a numbers game, but your number will be 0. And I know many speakers have had that frustration. Now, how do you become bookable? In video 3, we laid out the plan: decide, describe, develop, and deliver. Decide, describe, develop, and deliver. We're going to unpack that a little bit more in today's video with the 5 keys to high fees. And we are also going to really do a deep dive, because this is heavy lifting. This is not something that we can cover in an hour. This is not something that I can just give to you on a silver platter. This is a process that you must use to pull out your ideal topic, your ideal speech titles, and all of the things that make you bookable. Is a difficult, heavy lifting process. And I'm going to share with you how I'm going to come alongside with you, do as much of it for you as I humanly possibly can, give you all of the templates, the tools, the scripts, the swipe files, all of that stuff, again, will be announced and opened tomorrow, 10 a.m. There'll be like a super fast action taker extra bonus and discount. All right. So I explained what those things were. I consider them the fantastic 4 of bookability: decide, describe, develop, and deliver. And when you do these things, when you take these 4 steps, you immediately rise to the top 1%. You are light years ahead of 99% of the speakers out there trying to just hustle their way to the top. Now, notice what you don't see in my list of bookability steps: decide, describe, develop, deliver. But you don't see spend years speaking for free. You don't see work your way up the ladder. You don't see pay your dues. You don't see any of that stuff. Because while this is difficult and while it has to be done right, it doesn't mean it has to take forever. This is my secret. This is how I've been able to take my coaching clients by the hand and lead them into the promised land of bookability in record time. It is not how long you speak that makes you bookable. Hear me on this. 15 years of experience does not automatically make you bookable. There are so many speakers out there who just are not bookable despite years of experience, letters after the name, all kinds of stuff. So that's my disclaimer for you. This is not an easy process, but that is the reason why it gets you ahead, because most of the speakers either don't know how to do this, never heard of bookability, or do it wrong, or look at it and say, you know what? No, thanks. That's too much work. I don't want to decide on one topic. I want to speak on all the topics because they're all my babies and I love them all. And it's just too hard of a decision. So it's difficult. I get it. Now, it does not have to take years. All right. And you wouldn't be able to afford years anyway. And you probably wouldn't want to afford my one-on-one coaching so that you can take that in record time, not because it's expensive, right? It's less than one halfway decent gig, but because of this new announcement that I have. Very excited, very excited. So before I tell you a little bit about what it is, I want to give you these 5 keys. I'm going to do content first, and then if you want to hang around and learn about what this is about, I'll tell you a little bit about what this is going to be, what I'm going to be revealing, unveiling, opening up tomorrow, and it'll be open for a week. That's about it. But let's go ahead. Let's dive in. 5 keys to staying consistently booked at high fees. The 5 keys to high fees. Get ready to start taking notes. Please feel free to comment as I go through the 5 keys so we can share with the other people. What are the 5 keys? Key number 1, topic selection. Topic selection. This falls under the decide category for sure, but is also, I just want to clarify something here. That's not the only decision you're going to have to make, but it is a very important decision. Topic selection. This is make or break. I hate to break it to you, but this is a make or break decision. Pick a topic that no one cares about and nothing can save you. Choose something that you're not passionate about and everyone will smell it on you a mile away. If you stray outside your area of possible expertise or an area where you could develop expertise, then get ready to be publicly embarrassed. This is make or break. Get the topic right and you're off to a great start. Now, here's the thing. This is very, very important. This is a huge writer-downer moment. It's going to be a breakthrough aha moment for a lot of you. When you decide on your topic, you will not be for everyone. You will not be for everyone. There are going to be some people who look at you. You're going to put your stake in the ground. You're going to say, this is my topic. They're going to look at you and say, we don't want that topic. You will be rejectable. But here's the aha moment. If you are not rejectable, then you also are not acceptable. If you are not rejectable, if there's somebody out there who doesn't want what you have, that is a golden sign that there's somebody else out there who does want what you have. The difference is, trying to be everything to everybody, the jack of all trades, unrejectable. You have a need of a speaker, I can fill it no matter what. You are unrejectable, you are unbookable, you're unacceptable. There is nobody who's going to think all topics, jack of all trades, general is never relevant. If you are a generalist, you are unrejectable, you're unbookable when it comes to the high fee clients. You are passed over every time. So let me know in the comments. Was that an aha moment? Am I speaking the truth here? Does anybody agree, disagree? Let me know what you think about unrejectable equals unacceptable, unbookable. You've got to be rejectable to be bookable. All right. So that is the first make or break decision for you is topic selection. The next key. All right. That's key number 1. Key number 2, content development. All right. So you've picked an in-demand topic. Great. Good for you. But guess what? You better have something of value to say. You better have something unique, even not so unique that they think you're weird, but an angle, a hook, an approach that is packaged in a way that is unique, at least. Otherwise, no one's going to care. No one's going to care unless you have something valuable to add to the conversation. You will never get high fees of value to you if you are not giving value to them. Your speech has to be good. Your speech has to be good if you want to be a high fee speaker. Now, it doesn't have to be great, doesn't have to be the best, but I do not want anyone to think when I say chasing better is not chasing bookable necessarily. I do not want anyone to think that I say you don't have to be a good speaker. You absolutely have to be good. Or I never say you don't have to be a good marketer. No, you absolutely have to be good. But chasing only those things without being bookable first, cart before the horse, waste of time. So here we are. Number 2, you need a good speech. You need that content development piece. All right. And that's part of a good speech is what you actually say, the message you actually bring. Number 3, write this down. Here we go. 3rd key. We're going fast. And this is one almost nobody gets right. This is where most speakers fall apart on their bookability scale, right? This is where they lose it. And this is the packaging and positioning of you and your message, right? This is absolutely 100% the biggest difference maker that I see between speakers who hit the ground running and speakers who flounder for years and struggle to even book the free gigs. Let's say you have a great message and you have a great topic. If you cannot communicate that to decision makers in a way that is clear and compelling to them in their language, you're absolutely sunk. And it's got to be quick. It's got to be concise as well. Not just clear, not just compelling, but also concise. So all of your branding, your marketing language, your demo videos, all of this is part of your packaging, the description of your talk, the title of your talk. My goodness, so important. So this is all packaging and positioning of your message and also of you as a messenger, because they're not just booking a message, they're also booking a messenger, and your positioning and how you articulate your positioning and how you angle that. Like I was a college dropout who pursued a career as a professional magician for little kids' birthday parties. Like that was my background. How can I tweak that and position that in such a way where it feels relevant as though I'm an expert of some kind, even though I've never had a job in corporate America? So it is about packaging and positioning and perception with clarity, with conciseness, and being compelling. Oh my gosh, you've got to make them say, "Oh yeah, that's what we want. We want that. We want that speaker. We want that speech. That's what we want." So if you can't do that, then you're sunk. You'll be passed over every time, and that's why speakers who are worse than you are getting your gigs, because they are packaged and positioned better than you. So this is packaging and positioning. A lot of people don't know what that really means. This is things like I mentioned, a great program title. What makes it's a great answer to the question, what do you speak about? It is once again, having that decision maker take in any communication from you, even if it's an elevator pitch, even if it's a networking meeting, even if it is a website or whatever, and they immediately get who you are, what you speak about, and why they want it. All right, number four key, marketing and sales. Now, obviously, if no one knows about you, they can't ever book you. The problem when I say, like I said earlier, getting better at marketing and sales is not the key to bookability. It's a piece to staying booked consistently, right? If you have a full pipeline, if you're reaching out to a lot of people, that's when it becomes a numbers game. However, once again, if you don't decide, describe, develop, and deliver in a way that is bookable, then all the marketing and sales in the world cannot save you. It cannot save you. In fact, you're just going to be spreading out a bad message to the marketplace and creating a bad reputation for yourself. So the marketing and the sales piece, absolutely important. It's one of the 5 keys. It is not the first thing that you do, right? And you've got to make sure you're bookable before you do any of this stuff. And I would even say writing the speech is not even the first thing that you do, all right? First thing that you do is become bookable. And that is how you understand who you are, what your message is, how to package it, all of the decide, describe, develop, and deliver. All of that is making you bookable. And then you can go out and do your marketing and sales. But it is important. It's a key to staying consistently booked is that marketing and sales piece. This includes getting repped by bureaus and all the other outreach opportunities there are to speakers. And there are a lot of opportunities for speakers. And then finally, your delivery style. How do you deliver that message? Virtually, in person? Is it engaging? Are you fun? Are you funny? What is your style? And can you hit a home run and speak to every audience in such a way where they're at least listening? If they check out and start checking their phone 2 minutes into your talk, then nothing else matters. Of course you need to be engaging. That's like job description number 1. A lot of speakers will advertise that I'm so engaging. Well, you should be, right? If you're getting high fees, that's expected. If you are a professional speaker charging high fees, that is implied. All right. But that's also something you don't say, you demonstrate. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. But the bottom line here is this: when someone sees you speak, they've got to be drawn in. They've got to be engaged. They've got to be engaged in this new style that, since everybody's swiping and scrolling and watching TED Talks and YouTube videos and fast clips and fast cuts, attention spans are shrinking. The way we take in information is much more participatory. How are you adapting? Are you delivering a speech that not only informs, but also entertains? If you want to be highly bookable, you've got to be highly engaging. So those are the 5 keys to becoming highly bookable, staying booked consistently. The 4 steps to becoming bookable are, of course, decide, describe, develop, and deliver. And the challenge with all of these things is really the heavy lifting that I mentioned earlier. And that is where this new program that I'm very excited to announce right here, live at 11:26 a.m. Eastern Time, the new program that I'll be unveiling starting on August 3rd. But we are opening up the door tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to keep an eye on the email, right? If you're watching this and you're not on the email list, then you will not be able to take advantage of this. Go to getspeakinggigs.com right now. Click on anything to put your name and email address anywhere. Join the masterclass, get the 5-day free jumpstart course, quick start course, whatever. Get on the email list, right? And then you will get this email tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and we will open the doors on this thing. So we're going to talk about the 4 Ds. These are difficult steps. There's no question about it. This is why so few speakers ever become highly bookable, but it's also why I want to come alongside you and help. When I was doing this Next Stage Speaking Summit, 44 different speakers, all kinds of angles on the speaking industry, talking about all sorts of stuff, talking to, 1,300 participants came through this summit. And I realized, like, this is really what people are missing. People are missing this idea of bookability. And I've worked with hundreds of speakers over the years, one-on-one and through my group coaching programs and all kinds of products, et cetera. And I see who is successful and who isn't successful. And it boils down to this idea of bookability. So I want to come alongside you and help. We're going to do a 90-day program, a group coaching program. Normally, I used to do one-on-one coaching and still do. It's booked full right now, but it's expensive. But that's the problem. A lot of people can't either afford it, but that has really been the only option. Then I have like lower stuff like a course and a book that doesn't have as much hands-on input. And these decisions are hard. You want somebody who has their finger on the pulse of the industry to be able to speak to your ideas, to be able to brainstorm with you, offer suggestions, give you feedback. That speech title right there is not going to be a good one. This one over here is going to be loved by the meeting professionals that I work with and talk to, and I think it will be loved by a lot of meeting professionals. So these are the types of this is the type of feedback I think that you need in order to make these hard decisions. So it is a group program, right? We're going to all get together. We're going to do these sessions, these workshops where I provide you with the information, but also we're going to have the time to actually do the work. And I'm going to give you the feedback that you need. All right. So we'll walk away with your one focused, clear, in-demand speaking topic that you can approach business audiences and ask for high fees. You will have your one stake in the ground topic. You will be able to confidently make the decision because we have a thorough process that we take our clients through, and I will share this process with you, lead you through it, and you will end up with your one in-demand speaking topic. You will end up with killer 2-part speech titles, the killer 2-part speech title that you need. This is non-negotiable if you want to be highly bookable. That's part of the describe process. You will also, speaking of describe, walk away with a powerful, concise description of your program's core message. You do have a core message, right? You know what that is, and you know that every speech absolutely has to have one if you're going to be bookable. Well, if you don't, you will, by the end of this program, you'll have a single statement that clearly communicates what makes you different, but not so different that nobody understands what to do with you, right? Look, if you aren't just the right amount of different, then you're just not highly bookable. And then you'll also have the perfect answer to the question, what do you speak about? You'll also have your own personal, what I call $50,000 piece of paper. This is a document. It is not a one sheet. This is the document that screams death to all one sheets. This is a single piece of paper. It'll give you the clarity, the confidence, the focus to approach any prospect at any fee level in any situation. Phone call, Zoom call, website demo, any interaction that you have with a client, proposal, whatever it is, you will have this piece of paper that you can draw from and have this bank of language that you can use that is brand consistent, that is clear, that is compelling, that is concise. Whew, that's easily worth $50,000 on a piece of paper. Easy, maybe 50 grand a month for some of you. You'll receive, by the end of this program, you'll walk away with an outline for your highly bookable flagship speech. Now, this will be an outline, which means it'll be customizable for each client that hires you to speak at high fees. And you will walk away with the ability to create outlines as well, including things like your opening and closing statements. You're going to walk away with the opening and closing sections of your speech. They say you've got to start strong and end strong as a speaker. And I have some very, very powerful insights for how to approach the opening and the closing sections of your speech that are absolute bookability difference makers. Now, once again, do not go out into the world of public speaking. This is a warning. I want you to hear me on this. Do not attempt to go out into the world of public speaking without being bookable. I mean, I've seen too many speakers waste years of time, energy, effort, money, chasing gigs only to be rejected, to be neglected by the organizations who hire the high fee speakers, like completely ignored. You're operating at this altitude and they're up here, and it's just a different landscape. It's a completely different vibe. So the best speaking skills, hear me, the best speaking skills, the best marketing plan in the world can't help you, not just won't help you, can't help you if you're not bookable. And there's nothing more frustrating than trying to sell something that people don't want, that people aren't willing to pay for, that people don't even know or can't even recognize that they want or need it. But there's nothing more exciting, on the other hand, than having something that people practically drool over. The interest that you get, the attention that you get when you're bookable, the income, the fees that you get, the booking, it's all comes to you so much easier when you're highly bookable. And that is why I'm so excited about this program. So that's what you'll walk away with. Here's how we're going to make it happen. 6 hands-on workshops over the course of this 90 days, spread 2 weeks apart so that you can have the time to work. But we also have an ongoing brainstorming session in a private chat group where in between you can post your ideas, your pieces of language. I can review and feedback and correct and adjust and tweak and brainstorm with you in the in-between times. You'll get plenty of individual attention and suggestions from me. We'll do weekly accountability work sessions in addition to the bi-weekly hands-on workshops. And each workshop, once again, laser focused. We're going to do a topic selection workshop as a kickoff, right? Because we have this bonus sort of, it's like, there's really 7 workshops. There's a kickoff where we talk about topic selection, and then we're off to the races. But this is going to be, like I said, a group coaching program. No member left behind. We're going to make sure that everybody walks away with everything that I promised. And I'm gonna make sure, damn it, that you're bookable. I'll drag you into the land of bookability, kicking and screaming if I have to, because hey, this is the best way that I can help you get your message out there. And that's the message of mission of Get Speaking Gigs, is to really help people get their message out there and create the income and the impact that they want and they need from their message. All right, we're going to have some questions here. We are going to have some Q&A time. All of the details on the program are coming in an email to you tomorrow morning. Again, whether you struggle with not knowing what corporations are booking as far as topics go, and you need to brainstorm some topics, fantastic. Great. I have it. We have this process in the Get Speaking Gigs world. We call it the topic discovery process. Go figure. But it's never failed to turn out just a slew of topics, dozens of topics for people that they feel excited about, like serious potential that these speaking topics have. So there's like 7 different oceans that we dip into, and oceans is not an understatement. There are so many possible topics, so many areas of interest, so many possibilities out there that you may not have even thought of. And when we go through this process, you're guaranteed to have some topics. But then that might not be your problem. Maybe your problem is you have too many topics and you want to narrow it down. Well, guess what? We have this thing called the Get Speaking Gigs topic selection process. And it is like 20 steps, very thorough once again. But by the end of it, you know that you have your highly bookable topic that you're passionate about. It is tailor-made for you. It's perfect for you. There's really no other way to do it. You can't ever speak on someone else's topic. It's got to be your topic. And once again, Venn diagrammed with what corporations want. Obviously, the communication piece of how we communicate that, writing the damn speech is another piece of the puzzle. Oh my gosh, all of these, I'm just going down. I have this page in front of me, all these processes that will take you through. It's really exciting, but you're going to get all those details tomorrow. Let's do some Q&A. Let's talk a little bit about corporate speaking and high fee speaking, really to business audiences. It doesn't have to be corporations. Here we go. Does corporate ever hire personal development topics? Example, be happy with yourself to be happy with your job. And the answer to does corporate ever hire personal development is yes, as long as that information is packaged in a way that makes corporations realize that personal development really is professional development. And that is something that we learned during the Next Stage Speaking Summit from Tim Picciarello. He said, personal development is professional development. They just have to realize that. So you've got to make them realize that. I'm going to give you an example of a bad topic that can be repositioned in a way that's a good topic. Now, the bad topic would be something like how to become an entrepreneur and replace your income, your day job income. The reason that's a bad topic is because turnover is expensive for corporations, and they don't want you coming in telling their employees to quit their job, right? So there's an obvious conflict of interest there. However, you can give the same message and tweak it in such a way where you talk about entrepreneurialism and how entrepreneurialism leads to creativity and how entrepreneurs approach creativity. So you can still talk about entrepreneurialism, you can still talk about that, but what you're really doing is you're making it, letting people know, hey, entrepreneurs are non-traditionalists, they kind of go against the grain. This is how you can think creatively like an entrepreneur. All right, that's just off the top of my head here, but that's an example of repackaging a personal development topic in such a way where it is relevant to business audiences, and it's something that they want. All right, any other questions, comments, concerns? I see a small group of people here. This was a surprise session. I sent an email an hour ago sort of announcing part 4 of the masterclass. I alluded to it on Friday, but you did not know it was going to be live at 11 a.m. So hopefully if you're watching this again, if you're watching it on the replay, do not miss tomorrow's email at 10 a.m. Eastern time, where we open the doors on this group coaching program starting on August 3rd. So we'll have a week basically to let people in. I will be traveling and I have some gigs that I'll be traveling and speaking at. And then we're going to come back, hit the ground running. I want to show you something. I want to show you something here. I want to show you when corporations are booking speaking gigs. I did not have this prepared, but it will take just a moment to pull up the slide that I want to share with you. I believe it's this document right here. So what I'm going to share with you is literally I've mapped out over the years when my gigs happen. I've mapped out when my gigs happen. I have the graph. I'm looking at it right now. And I'm going to share my screen so that you can also be looking at my graph of gigs that I've booked. And I want you to notice something about the trends here. Share my screen, share the window of this slide right here. And now I will bring it into the stream. Oh, it's already in. Beautiful. I call this slide the busy season, right? Now at the bottom, you see the months, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, you know the months of the year. You can see the busiest month is September, right? You can see the busiest month is September, followed by October, followed by March. And I was surprised that January was this high, to be honest, on the list. But you think about it, there's a lot of New Year's sort of initiatives and things like that. I'm not surprised that February and August are the smallest and lowest months. February is a shorter month, so it has that as a disadvantage, but it is way smaller than just, because of the days lacking. December, obviously not a lot of events happening in December other than, banquets and holiday events and those types of things where I don't typically speak at. When I was a magician, this was like flopped, right? I was doing tons of events in November and December and January, and just very, very much, actually March too, but somewhat different. Summertime was packed for me as a magician. All right. So anyway, August, the low month. Why are we starting in August? Well, because they're not booking these gigs anyway. And by the way, these are the dates that the gigs happen, right? So by early August, if you're ready and you're bookable, then you can start taking advantage of maybe even September, but October definitely, November, but October sort of the window that we're targeting. So we're going to spend some time targeting, getting ourselves bookable in August, in early August. And we're going to go through that process. And by October, November, you can be bookable and out there grabbing some of this pie right over here. And that may be shocking to you because the turnaround sometimes is less than a month, right? They might book you, especially for these virtual events. Man, oh man, sometimes it's like 3 weeks from now, we're doing this event. Can you come and speak virtually for us? So that is an exciting piece of the puzzle that you'll be able to take advantage as well, which is why we're starting during a slow season. Right? I'll be not so busy speaking, and I will be able to focus on serving you and making sure the group is firing on all cylinders and moving forward that way. So that is that. I don't see any other questions coming in because I'm on StreamYard. They were supposed to be feeding me those questions. So my apologies if I missed a question. You can email me, tim@getspeakinggigs.com. I will be focused on this for the next week or so. And once again, the masterclass will remain live. You can go to getspeakinggigs.com to join that masterclass. If you haven't seen the first 3 videos, they're still going to stay up until July 28th. So you've got, a week plus to watch those videos, but make sure you don't miss them because they will be coming down. And that is that. So any other questions for me, shoot me that email. But for now, we will end this broadcast. And as always, we will speak soon. Looking forward to tomorrow. We'll speak then.